Hello everybody and welcome back to Cities Skylines 2, where we are currently working on doing something about this low-density residential issue. Now, I am aware that this exists. European-style apartment buildings with commercial space on the bottom and apartments on top. I'm not sure how necessary this truly is right now, but it's an interesting option. For sure. And we may consider doing that somewhere out over here-ish. Maybe. We'll see how that ends up going. For now, I want to extend out this direction. So we'll take the Chestnut Highway, and we'll just extend that right on out over here. And that, of course, we want to bring up to 10 meters. How far over do we want to bring this, though? We shouldn't do this yet, should we? No, we shouldn't, actually, because we need to extend out these roads first. So, let's see here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so there's going to be a road here. Gotcha. So we need to bring this out to be about 224 meters to about there. And then bring this guy down to here, like so. And we can just fill out this meta block fairly easily. So then, of course, this road would go straight down, in theory, to like here, right? So we would need that to come in down here. But we're going to run into an issue out this way. So for the moment, I want to grab a curve tool and bring out our road over this way. That exceeds city limits. Ooh, right. There is a city limit boundary there. So we should probably consider buying this tile. There we go. That'll do for now. Now we can get this out of here much more simply. So we would extend this guy about like that. Now, this is probably going to be an issue down here with pillars. We'll see what that ends up looking like, but I'm not going to put too much effort into this road here for now, because that road is probably going... Actually, that was pretty good. This curve here isn't great, but I'm not going to put too much effort into it right now. This is a placeholder road, more than anything. Okay. So this road heads on over to here. That's only 176 meters, so it would just connect directly in like that. Then this guy, actually we could take this guy over here, would go straight down to about here. There we go. That'll do. And we can bring this on over, and we do the same with all of these roads, right? So that would go about here, and then this would be the highway here. So now we need to know where the midpoint is. And I mean, it's right here, right? So we can determine that very, very easily. The midpoint is pretty much exactly in this area. That distance right there is 116 meters. So in theory here, actually it's right in between these. Indeed, it's right in between here. It doesn't really matter which of these we end up choosing, although we could simply do something like this, and that is about perfect. So with that done, we can then bring this guy down over here, right? And have this go in... This angling is definitely non-ideal. I don't like it. Because we need it to be at a 90-degree angle here. So I'm just going to choose this as our positioning for this section of highway. A potential issue there, but probably not that big of a deal. So we would bring this guy in like so. Can we slap a roundabout in there? Yes, we can. Beautiful. And then from there, we would just bring this guy down to there. Can we squeak across here? Overlapping items. I am not surprised about that one. What can we get done without snapping, or actually with only snapping to angle? I highly doubt that we're going to find a valid location here, but I just want to check. Hang on. Well, there we go. That's a valid location. I like it. So I'm going to continue to extend this highway southward a bit here to about there. We're going to have to figure out how exactly we want to get the on-off ramps working here. This section of road is going to have to be taken out. We knew that would be a problem. So that's okay. From here, I want to extend this highway northward. So we're just going to extend it up to about here is all the further I'm going to take that. And then we'll just bring this highway in, see about slapping in a roundabout. There we go. Okay, so this section of meta block is nearly completed. We're not going to get a lot out of it, to be honest, but we don't really expect a lot. Yeah, this is correct. I was just counting the number of roads there. It's like, hang on. Actually, hang on a moment again. I just realized when we look at like this section of road here, that's basically the Orbitron A as well. Amazing. I love it. Okay, so let's just move on from that little discovery. And I do want to think about on-off ramps here, but I think that now is not the time for it. I think that right now, what we need to do is we need to get these ones done. So that would be slope too steep up here due to the... Oh, we're not in curve tool. No wonder the slope is too steep. That would make sense. That would absolutely make sense. There, that's more like it. So that's fine. We can bring this guy out over here like that. And we can also fix our turn lanes here. Please only go straight here. Thank you. Okay, so something like that. And we can go through and fix these. Like I said before, the policy for any existing on-off ramps that are not correct is going to be that they are going to stay unless we determine them to be causing a problem, like a traffic jam of some type. We don't currently have any significant traffic jams. The one that was down here has cleared up somewhat. There's been an accident up over here, but that's fine for the moment. Okay, so we needed to do an off-ramp up over here. Looks good. And then an on-ramp out over here. There we go. And we'll just get our turn lanes set up correctly. So that will, of course, be here and here. There we go. And that's this meta block completed. So we can then grab our low-density housing here, grab, like, this box, and do something kind of like that. Cool. So that'll give us a little bit of low-density housing anyway. That's also this meta block completed, isn't it? It is. I'm going to zone that. But I'm also going to remove Beechwood Street, and I think now is when we need to be starting to think about our ramps. So I'm wondering, do we think we can cram a ramp in here? This is a very tight area, and I'm not convinced that this is going to go well. But we could try to bring it around like this. That's giving slope too steep, but this actually... Whoa! That is... perfect. It's absolute perfection. There is nothing wrong with this whatsoever. Okay, let's try that one more time, building it from here. Okay, let's take this out 180 degrees and then curve it in kind of like that. That's that same problem. Is that the same exact location that we found before? Probably, actually. So let's just bring this out maybe a little further up. Boy, it really doesn't like this spot. What happens if we terraform this a bit? Not much is the answer. Okay, let's try this one more time from up here this time. Okay, I like this positioning. This was, I believe, the spot that formerly caused us issues. Yeah. So, what exactly is going on with the terrain here? There's definitely an issue with the terrain. But it looks quite smooth, to be honest. Let's just try bringing it out from here. Hang on, this is 2-lane here. We should really have this be 3-lane anyway. So that would help matters, actually. So we make this 3-lane, this 3-lane, this 3-lane. That is a pillar issue. That's unfortunate. But this area should be fine. So we just take that section out, and we need to continue to have that be 3-lane. That would be 3-lane, right? And then we could just continue to have this 3-lane all the way up to the city limits, which that's the best we can do there. Okay. So then we would have this guy be about here, 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 and here. Okay, so we widen that out to 3-lane all the way through here. Then we can grab our highway and rebuild that. Hopefully we don't have any significant issues with that. Looks like we won't, and I'm just going to take that down a little further south. There we go. Now we can see if this is going to have an effect on the landscape. And hopefully a good one, as in the landscape will not be, you know, clipping through our road. That would be for the best. So this is coming back as slope too steep out over here. Specifically here. It's only a 12% grade, but let's see. This is apparently constructible. Same exact issue. I wonder if it has to do with this road. Let's try it again. This time with the road gone. So we look to bring it in somewhere like here, right? It's better, but it's definitely still buggy. No doubt about that. Okay. I feel like we shouldn't be having a significant issue here, but whatever. This would be dropping a pillar basically right where we need to have a road, right? But we can see about something along the lines of this. This is much narrower, I feel like. I mean, I still don't like what we've got going on here. It's very odd. No doubt about that. Very, very, very odd. For the time being, let's move on and see about getting a on-ramp up over this way. We can put it in there. Okay. And then this ramp would end up coming up over here somewhere, right? Like there. That seems fine. No problem whatsoever there. And then our off-ramp over here would maybe head out a little further over this way. That's too far, I think. So that's all slope too steep, right? That's not shocking that that's slope too steep. That's getting very, very long. That's a 12.9% grade. I feel like we can find something better here if we get rid of this, which, by the way, also has issues here. We're having a really hard time getting these to connect up properly. I mean, I think it would be okay. I think in terms of gameplay, I'm pretty sure it would be fine. We're just having a hard time getting them to be, like, photogenic, right? That slope too steep there. So let's back this off a little bit and have it be back over here. Wow. So that's like a 20% grade. Noted. Why is that a 20% grade, though? It feels like it shouldn't be that much more different from any of the other directions here. I mean, looking at it here, it is relatively steep. No doubt about that. That's very interesting. No doubt about it. I want to, I think, get rid of this section of highway here. And I want to rebuild this with respect to the terrain. I want to rebuild this out to about here. And we'll just put pillars a little bit more frequently. Okay. So now we know that this pillar is going to be approximately our low point, right? So from here, we may be able to split out from here and find something out over this way. That's a 20% grade. And then this, of course, is an invalid shape, which doesn't surprise me at all. So what kind of a grade do we need for this to be valid? Like, that works, but that's huge, right? Interesting. It has to be, like, out here. And we're still having this issue where it's breaking down here. I wonder if perhaps we should take out these sections of highway and rebuild them. It might actually be beneficial to do so. So in that case, all I would look to do, right, is I would look to bring this into here and just curve it in like that. That would be the only thing that we'd be looking to do with it. So then this one would come in about like that. This is 179 here. Let's redo that. So this guy would be at 180. Yes, this is the right position. And we'll just go in like that. I don't think that that should affect anything, but you never know. So let's try this now, bringing this guy in and over here. Now, that is definitely still a hefty amount of grade, right? So the gradation there is a lot. Still with the terrain issue here. Intriguing. So clearly the issue is something to do with the terrain in this area. We're actually seeing a terrain issue on every single direction of these ramps. So we're seeing it out over here. Never mind. It just worked. I'll take it. As far as this goes up here, we definitely don't want it to go in like that. No doubt about that. That's all sloped too steep. It's allowing us to do some of this over here, but we've got, like, some wacky pillars going on here, I feel like. Yeah, definitely some wacky pillars. Okay, so now if we were to try it, we would bring this guy up and over here, right? Where this would look to merge up over this way. Slope too steep, overlapping items. So that's that pillar there. This guy right here. Noted. This is a bit of a problematic location to build this, apparently. That's kind of wild. I would not have expected significant issues here.
Keep that dial right here.
That's fine. Okay. I don't have a problem with that. And then out this way, presumably the issue out here. Okay, this is a little broken here. Presumably the issue here is that this highway is angling downward a little bit. It really isn't all that much, though. Yeah, it really, really isn't. Well, let's see what happens if we try to build something up over here, right? And merge this in up here. So we get an invalid shape. Wait. Okay. Well, I guess that works. Now we've only got this one that I'm not happy with because of this section of terrain. So we can see about maybe bringing that out, like over here, right? We've got a bit of a pillar issue there. But if that were to come out, hypothetically, over here, right? That's all slope too steep. Okay. So then we bring this around over here. This is all hypothetical. I'm not actually wanting to do it there. So it really felt like the time to do it was up here. Or rather, the place to do it was up here. If we didn't have that issue, it would have been great. Huh. Well, I definitely expected to get more done this episode, but this has been quite a struggle over here. No doubt about that. But it's been an interesting struggle. For sure. Yeah, we've got a big gradation issue there. So what that functionally ends up meaning, hypothetically, what if we were to bring it out this way? This is, of course, a terrible direction to build this, right? We absolutely don't want to do that. But huge, huge gradation issues there. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take this section of the highway off. I'm going to use the level terrain tool, and we're just going to level all of that out. Like that. Then we're going to rebuild this section of highway. And that's going to go like that. So it's going to stay at the same altitude. Then we're going to try this again. I don't feel like we should be having an issue with the grading here, but we clearly are. It feels like it shouldn't be this bad, but 11.9? Okay, now we've got this going on again. I wonder what would happen if we would save and reload with it like this. I kind of want to find out. But before we do, I do want to fix this situation. No left turns. Thank you very much. Okay, let's make a save here, and I'm going to reload, and I will see you guys in just a moment. Well, that doesn't seem to have fixed anything. Okay, so we reloaded the game. We've got the same terrain issue here. Luckily, we've managed to get all 3 of our other exits functioning. But let's take this one out and let's keep trying. So let's see if we can find a valid one here. We definitely need to be in the curve tool to make this happen. This is the wrong type of road. I want to be in the 1-lane, 1-way highway. Thank you very much. What if we just had it split off up over this direction instead? Wait, that's only a 2.7% grade? Because we weren't on the correct altitude. Okay, that would do it. That would absolutely do it. So we would want to bring this guy out over like here, right? Invalid shape due to the pillars here. Okay. Well, we can't actually delete this because that makes this invalid. We can delete here. And now we can delete here. I wonder. That will change things somewhat here. But how much? We need it to be like under an 8% grade, which is kind of crazy, to be honest. That's a 10% grade there. It's wild to me that we flatten this out and we're still having this issue. But I guess what we need to do is we need to flatten this from here. So I'm going to grab this height and I'm going to take these sections out of here. And we're going to flatten it from here. Obviously, this is going to create some issues over here. But for the time being, we'll see what this does. This should, in theory, make it considerably more likely that this is going to be okay. Now that's giving us an overlapping item there. So that means we've got a pillar issue here. That's fine. We can get that out of there. We want this to be at a 180 degree, which I believe it is here, but it's not actually saying it. And then we connect this here like that. Obviously, we're going to have some issues there, but I just want this area to be flattened. It's wild to me that we didn't have a problem with it here, but we're having a problem with it here. But whatever. Doesn't actually matter. We can get this solved. So now we want to take this over and just connect it in right up over here, right? We're going to need to drop a pillar here. And then link that in like so. Okay. Next, we can bring this guy out. Curve tool, please. Bring this guy out and then down to be right there. Okay. Yeah, it was just the altitude of this. It's wild to me that we couldn't build from here to here, but we could build from here to here. Like, there's a huge drop off here right now. And I kind of want to even that out. I don't like the look of that. So I'd like to just bring this in over here, right? That would be ideal. Bringing this in here, actually what we should do right now is we should soften out the terrain here. And just drop this right on down. So get this whole area softened out. And I'd like to use the slope terrain tool here and just smooth this out a bit. Okay. I still want this to be a little on the lower side. So let's use the level terrain tool here. Let's grab this height and we'll just do something like that. Then we'll soften it out. Okay. Then we can use the slope terrain tool here and do that. Okay. We've still got a bit of an issue over here, but I think that's reasonably fine. So using the leveling terrain tool, we'll just do that and then soften it out over here. Okay. That's insane to me that that was necessary. We may want to also elevate the Cypress Highway up to that same level, because that might just end up looking better. And I think it will, honestly. So let's grab the level terrain tool. I'm going to grab this level, and we are going to just do that number. Okay. Now we're going to do the same thing over here. We just need to grab from here and bring that out at 180 degrees to be about here-ish. Ah, that wasn't the curve tool. No, get out of here. We need curve tool. Curve tool helps. Okay, so let's try that again. Bring that out at 180 degrees to this point-ish right here. And then we merge it in like so, I believe. I mean, this was the highway. We actually want the 3-lane one-way highway, but whatever. We can upgrade this. Okay, so using the upgrade tool, or rather the replace tool, we would bring this up like so. I had the wrong type selected there. I don't love the positioning here, so I'm just going to tweak the lanes. Okay, something kind of like this, and then more like that. This is definitely imperfect here, and I'm going to redo that section. That needs to be redone. So it'll end up being something kind of like this. There we go. And then we can soften out this terrain here, or more specifically, I want to choose the level terrain tool and do something like that, and then soften it out. Okay. We've still got a little bit of almost tunnel going on there, but I'm sure that'll be fine. Next, I want to get this highway through here. I can't believe how complicated it was to get this highway put in. That is kind of insane. So at this point, we want this guy to be like up over here, right? But we've got different altitudes now. So we can take this out, and then we can just build this through like so. Then we can use the curve tool and bring this in, bring this out, and that would end up wanting to connect like up over here. That's quite a long ways away, or maybe we could even do it just like over here. But I kind of want to bring it in up over here. Invalid shape. Okay, fair enough. So just something like that. It's definitely odd looking, but it'll do. And then from over here, we would bring this guy out and up over here. And now it just works. Okay, cool. I'm not necessarily happy with the shape of this, and we can see there's a little bit of terrain glitchiness there. So let's try bringing this back over here. I would love to bring it in right there. Phenomenal. Okay, let's do our turn lanes. No left turn. And there should be no left turn here either, but that's fine. No left turn here, and no left turn. Okay, that all looks good as far as turn lanes go. A little bit of a texture issue here, but I'm not too concerned about that. That was kind of insane. I would like to touch up this terrain over here real quick, so I'm going to grab the level terrain tool here, and we're just going to smooth that out a bit. And now I'm going to grab the slope terrain tool, and we're just going to toss in a little bit of slope here. What is this shadowing, though? Do we have to rebuild this section? We might have to. That's okay. We could definitely do that. So we would just take these out. Now I'm going to use the soften terrain tool and just clean that terrain up a little bit. There we go. And we would just bring this highway back in. So this guy would head out over this way to be about here, and would want to link in about there. Now we've got an issue here. Can we not? That would be great. Okay, let's just smooth all of that out too. Curve tool. This guy would come in about here. That's much better. And then this guy would come in to be, where was that? I saw a guideline there. I guess here would probably work. Yes. Okay, that's much better. That definitely took longer than anticipated. No doubt about that. I'd love to get this road in here. It's gonna be exciting. No doubt about that one, but we can just bring it on over something like this. Just yoink that right on in there. I like it. I don't love our hill situation here. We can smooth that out a wee bit and then move this guy right on in like that. Okay, and there's that section, relatively good to go. Now using the straight line tool, we can move in just like that. That works. Way more trouble than it was worth, no doubt about that, but it does end up working. So that's fine. We also need to do on-off ramps down here, but now is not the time for that. It is past time to put a cut in here, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. And next episode, if I remember, we'll do on-off ramps here. And I think we decided we weren't going to do them over the river, which does make some level of sense to me. So that is absolutely fine for the moment. You can leave your offerings to the engagement gods in the form of likes, comments, subscribes, and bell ringings, and a very special thank you to all of the channel members for making this video possible, including ALS Gamer, Shadow Wolf, Andy McGar, Upper Cumberland Gamers, Nick Smarty, Dimitri H, Punching the Microphone, Soccerman12 UK, Kentogan, and all the rest. And of course, you. Thank you for watching. If you'd like to support the channel, you can click the join button down below the video, and as always, I will see you all next time. I think I just noticed another spot where we don't have on-off ramps. I'm stopping the video.